everybody, Simbastic this here again to talk to you about what I bought and what I watched today. And today, headed out to a couple of my local thrift stores, got some great titles. Let's take a look at what I got. The first store I stopped at was at my local Goodwill, and unfortunately didn't come across any titles I wanted to pick up, but I did get one great cinematic trivia game, and that was Star Trek Trivia Game. Very cool to get this. Got this for a total of $4. I thought that was a great deal. Now, as far as my trivia knowledge on Star Trek goes, probably not that great. I've seen all the movies at least once. I really don't know too much about the TV series, any of the TV series, because I just never really watched much of it. I've seen some of the classic, William Shatner episodes. I've seen some of the later episodes from the other series, but I haven't really seen them all. Don't really know too much about any of the series at all. But I do know a little bit about the movies, so definitely want to pick this one up. I do like Star Trek. I do really want to get into the series eventually. Just right now they're a little bit too expensive on DVD, but hopefully someday I'll come across the seasons for pretty cheap. And like I said, I would really like to get into those eventually. So definitely had to pick this up for $4. Thought it was a great deal. The next store I stopped at was Liberty Thrift and Home Furnishings, and once again, didn't come across any titles I wanted to pick up, but I did find another great cinematic trivia game, and that was Seen It, Nick. Very cool to get this. I love the Seen It games. They are so much fun. And for a while, I was debating whether or not I wanted to get this because I figured I wouldn't know a lot about this because as far as Nicktoons go, I was really into the classic Nicktoons, but as you can see, they got things like Fairly Odd Parents, Jimmy Neutron, Danny Phantom, Avatar. I'm actually not sure what that guy there is, and SpongeBob. And shows like SpongeBob and Adventures of Jimmy Neutron, shows like that, that's kind of when I stopped kind of watching Nicktoons on TV. I really didn't watch much more Nicktoons, so some of the other shows on here I kind of figured I probably wouldn't know too much trivia about, but just recently started getting into them more, started picking up some Danny Phantom, and I have the entire Avatar series on DVD, so a lot of shows like that. Fairly Odd Parents, been watching a lot of that, so I've been really getting into some of the Nicktoons that I kind of stopped watching when they first came out. So definitely figured it's about time I finally picked this up. Got this for a total of $2. That was a great deal. Definitely had to pick it up. Look forward to playing it. The next store I stopped at was at a brand new consignment shop that just opened up one town over from me. Now, I've never been in there. This is my first time ever checking this store out, but I've been meaning to go in for a while now. Definitely wanted to see what this store was all about. Had no idea if they even had media or not. In fact, from the front window, it looks like they just sell ladies' clothing. However, in the back, they did actually have some media and children's clothing and guys' clothing and what you typically expect from a consignment shop. So, like I said, they did have some media in there. They had a bunch of VHS tapes. They were all marked at $1.99 a piece. The lady said she'd given to me for $1 a piece. They also have some DVDs, but mostly seasons of TV shows that I had no interest in. And they also had some CDs as well. As far as the VHS tapes go, really wasn't anything I wanted to buy, not for $1 anyway. Like I said, the DVDs were just TV seasons of shows that I had no interest in. But they did have a couple CD soundtracks that I wanted to pick up, and unfortunately they were marked at $1.99 a piece, which is $1 more than I normally pay for CD soundtracks. I usually don't pay more than $1 for them, but it was a brand new shop. Like I said, they just opened up. Kind of wanted to give them my support because I hope they're around for a long time. Any store that sells used VHS tapes and just use great cinematic media, I definitely want to stay open. So I figured to get my support, I'd buy a couple of them, and here's what I got. The first CD soundtrack I picked up was the soundtrack to A Low Down Dirty Shame. Unfortunately, not really much on here that I'm interested in at all. I actually popped this one in the CD player just to hear what was on it, and none of it really interested me all that much. But I do own the movie, so gotta have the soundtrack. Then I picked up the soundtrack to Animal House. Now this here's a great soundtrack. Has a bunch of great original titles, also some great oldies on it. I love this. This is a fantastic soundtrack. If you like the movie, you're definitely gonna wanna have the soundtrack, and I love the movie, so had to get this one. Then I got the soundtrack to Can't Hardly Wait. Another great soundtrack. Love a lot of the bands on here. Things like Third Eye Blind, Smash Mouth, Blink-182, Busta Rhymes, Missy Elliott, let's see, Run DMC, Black Lab, The Replacements, Dog Eye View, Guns N' Roses. I mean, just a ton of great music on here. This is a fantastic soundtrack. I also love the film, so definitely want this one in the collection. And the last soundtrack I picked up was the soundtrack to Spider-Man. And this one I really wanted to get for one major reason, and that was, I believe it's called, yes, Main Titles by Danny Elfman, which is a song that plays in the very beginning of Spider-Man, the opening main title screen, Spider-Man. I love that Danny Elfman song. I think it's fantastic. I have that one on my iPod right now. I've actually listened to it a couple of times, so definitely want to get it for that. As far as the other music on it, I mean, people like Aerosmith and Sum 41, Alien Ant Farm, you know, The Hives, I mean, other bands that are decent, but nothing that I'm necessarily dying to hear. But definitely wanted it for that Danny Elfman song. I love Danny Elfman, so decent soundtrack just for that song alone. And the last store I stopped at was the Open Door Ministry Thrift Shop. There was 2 titles there, definitely had to pick up, and the first one being Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, Way of the Warrior, Worlds Collide. This year's actually Season 3, Part 2. Now, I kick myself really, really badly for this Ninja Turtles series because I actually had every single DVD release that they had released before they started doing the seasons of the show. Meaning that I actually technically had the entire series on DVD. Unfortunately, I think it was after the 2nd season they started releasing them not in episode order, but nevertheless, I still technically had every episode, even if not in episode order. But once they started putting out the seasons, I just foolishly thought they would continue to do that, so I actually sold all my individual releases and thought, great, now I can get all the season releases. Well, as we all know, after Season 2, they stopped. So Season 3, I believe it was Season 3 and I think part of Season 4 maybe? I forget. Whatever it was, they stopped releasing that, meaning that I don't have all the episodes now on DVD. I only have the ones, again, I think it was like half of Season 3 maybe they released, and they released Season 1 and 2, and they released everything like, I think after that, so I'm missing like half of Season 3 now or something stupid like that. And I really kick myself for that because, again, I once had them. I once owned them. So probably one of the biggest mistakes I've ever made in my collecting. All the years of my collecting is definitely one of the biggest mistakes that I've ever made. So definitely want to start picking them back up. So I don't have this one. Had to get it. This is one of the ones on the list that I need to pick back up. Unfortunately, I mean, it is the VHS release, but you guys know I don't have anything wrong with VHS. I can live with that. These are a little bit harder to find. I don't come across these much anymore. I used to see them all the time, but now that I've sold mine, I just don't come across them. So until I can get it on DVD, definitely had to pick up the VHS. It was $1, but I think well worth it. And the last time I picked up on DVD was the exclusive fully loaded Herbie bonus disc. This year was a bonus disc packaged with Herbie fully loaded. It was a Walmart exclusive. As far as what's on here, well, I actually watched this tonight, so let's talk about it. So that's it for what I bought today, so now it's what I watched. And like I said, today I checked out the exclusive fully loaded Herbie bonus disc. Now this is all I watched tonight. This isn't very long at all, and the reason why this is all I watched is because I was actually at a birthing center tonight. No, the wife isn't pregnant, but now that we have a house, we've been talking about possibly having a kid, so we were there pretty late. They take you through this whole big spiel. It took a few hours. They walk you through the entire facility, and then finally they let you go. By the time I got home, it was already coming up 11 o'clock, so I was pretty tired, really didn't want to watch a movie. I knew if I put a movie in, I was going to fall asleep. So I figured I would just watch something quick, something to talk to you guys about. So today, check this one out. Unfortunately, not all that great. The only difference on here, if you already have the Herbie Fully Loaded Special Edition release, you actually already have, I believe, 2 of the special features that are on here. Kind of stupid why they would do that, I don't know. The only bonus feature on here that's not on the Special Edition Herbie Fully Loaded disc is our DVD is actually, they had apparently a contest at Walt Disneyland back when the Love Bug came out, where they wanted you to paint and decorate your Volkswagen Beetle, bring it in, and the winner would actually win a Herbie, which was pretty cool. I actually thought that was pretty awesome. And they just show you that. And unfortunately, there's no sound. Well, I mean, there's sound, but it's just music they put to it. There's just showing you all the different cars, just showing you the parade through Walt Disneyland, and they show you them handing the keys over to the car. And again, none of that has any actual sound from when the parade was actually going on. It's all music that they put in post, they put in afterwards. And I thought that was the only downfall. Had they actually like maybe done some interviews with some of the people who decorated the car, we would have heard from people why they wanted to win Herbie, why they decorated the car the way they did. Things like that would have been pretty cool. Maybe the ceremony where they hand the keys over, we would have heard something from that. That would have been pretty neat. But unfortunately, it was all just set to music, which made it a little lame. But it was still pretty cool to watch. If you're really into Disney history and you really like, you know, the parks and you love the Herbie movies, then it is pretty neat. If you get this for cheap, I'd say pick it up. I'd say you can get it for like $1. Get it. I got it for $2, which, you know, that's fair enough. I didn't actually know what was on here, so the fact that I paid that much for it, I don't really kick myself because I didn't really know, and it was only $2 anyway. But I see if you come across this for cheap at like a flea market, pawn shop, somewhere like that, you can get it for $1. And of course you're a big fan of Disney and you're a big fan of Herbie, then I would say, yeah, pick it up because it's worth it just for that little bonus feature. But otherwise, there's nothing really else on here. Like I said, there's like 2 other little documentaries, and they were both on the special edition Herbie Fully Loaded disc. This also has some theatrical sneak peeks. In other words, just some trailers, nothing all that great. I think there might be like a very small behind-the-scenes look at Chronicles of Narnia. It's really not that great. So that's the unfortunate problem with this, is that there's really nothing on it. It's not that much of a bonus disc. You're really only getting 1 new special feature. So is it worth it? Again, for $1, I'd say pick it up. Otherwise, not really. So that's it for what I bought when I watched today. Definitely got some great deals today from the thrift stores. Unfortunately, no actual movies. Again, got those 2 cinematic trivia games, 4 CD soundtracks, got that bonus disc, also picking up the Ninja Turtles release that just has a couple episodes on it. So all in all, some great stuff, but no actual movies. Kind of a weird day in that sense, but still, great deals. And also watching that Herbie bonus disc, like I said, it was kind of a letdown. Unfortunately, you're only getting 1 real new special feature, but hey, if you can get it for really cheap, then yeah, and you're a big Herbie fan, of course, then yeah, why not grab it? So that's it. Thanks for watching, and stay tuned to see what I bought when I watch tomorrow. See ya.